Nam nim say no grab it ma ba adwuma. Oh. When you was some crack. World champions. Crystal Palace going to me anche no. When you go kasa ni ntie.
And only my son Bezemeka. And more no nyede.
Say
because Saturday na bra na do won sabu bo won some see any ma ye. So relax. Obi anu unku you.
Ya be show me 3-1.
Hey.
Mimi hey.
I'm crashing.
Me say. Ode shot me see ya be show me 3-1.
Any chibet.
Enya bet asem.
Unchibet.
Ala asem na me kan wanti. Me say.
Ode say chibet.
Nyame admo china. Ye bo game ya be chance na 3-1. Ode shot o.
You as you.
No, team na say o Kofi. Ani mo no.
Di no ti ya say o.
O ngwa mo no ti bi Benjamin Sesko super. Matthias Otibiche goals. And the front three need to be able to goals. Ali was there in a game, no. Obia man 1-1-1-1. Yenya 3. Bruno, good pass out the ball, you know it.
Oh, I do.
Or the bet you shim.
I bet you. Bruno,
why the travel voice?
Bruno there. Senior. Bruno there, good.
Say productions are no me no. Which we try me the moon to be there.
Obi anka so we show be 3-1. What else we show be 3-1?
Say I am your production.
There be so was. Na see about Jordan enu amoni as na match na score dey say.
Ben ti am bi.
When da be da. Match dey around we show be. Hey. To the Chelsea game. The biggest problem was how were Chelsea going to play the match without two of them high volume passes? No, who's the Chelsea team number? Levi Cole any tossing at the are literally the best, and my check several times. Be back three the a pass the ball. So how were Chelsea going to play without them? Because on the Saturday night, near 10 is a tossing at the also any injury. And it's going to be precautionary and long term there, but he will sit out against the game against Crystal Palace now, and then Chelsea will go on and go and see how the game goes. It means that all of the focus fell on Abrantia, your friend Joshua Kofi, a champion, to play as CCB, and this is exactly how Chelsea set up on the board. This is the game against Leverkusen. Joshua champion as a CCB, Tosin Adrabiayo as the LCB. Your friend is saying Trevor Chalobah as the LCB, rather in the middle of the park to try and dictate the pace of the game. Which I think it was probably the most difficult game at Chelsea have in well over 2 months since Club World Cup. Minyasho said Chelsea won a much more difficult game that they played yesterday against Crystal Palace. Before I go on, anybody who analyze the Chelsea Crystal Palace game will be failing to give credit to Oliver Glasner, then they are making a huge mistake. Or maybe they've not watched Oliver Glasner. I think that Oliver Glasner set up has been well underrated, and he deserves a lot of the credits that he has to get. Just like Andoni Areola. Rich, he came into the game with a regular 3-back here, with Richard, Lacroix, and McGay. Lacroix as the CCB, McGay as the left centre back, then Michael Richards as the right centre back. Then with 2 fullbacks, Tariq Mitchell and Abrantia on the other side over there. Malang, Ismail Sarr, Mateta and Abrantia as the top 3, then Adam Watson and Houghton in there. Which means say it is not just the setup. 3-back in Kofu be brave 3-back. But who teams? Almost every team in the English Premier League these days or person of ball, control ball, BBR will play in a 3-back. But what makes it difficult is this. Say, who's showing a tactical ball and you're looking at this annotation? Who say Trevor Chalobah, Joshua Champoni, then on the right hand side was Rhys James. But look at the Crystal Palace players now. Jean-Philippe Mateta has come centrally and is blocking the passing lane to Moises Caicedo. Then the 2 other attackers now, any Ismail Sano, they've also come very narrow. So the first thing we learned from the game is Abrantia and Oliver Glasner wanted to be as compact as possible. It's park in Ififino. Yeah, for players be brengum. So the Chelsea be your most important players. You can't even find Abrantia, your friend, Cole Palmer in between the lines. You just cannot find them. Constantly, every time, Crystal Palace have blocked the passing lane, and it was very, very difficult for Chelsea to find it. Now, Rich, look at something. Say, open out of possession, power ball, man. No football game will be boring for you. Look at this one. Anytime we are Obibe moving out of the block, look at Marco Kukurea. Kukurea be moving out of the block. Richards need nature. So that's the thing. In 3 backs, who but 3 back now bit about regular 3 back. But there's a certain level of pseudo security be a Taiwo teams on about 3 back stream say me boy in a 3 back can be placed in the way the doors. Intimate defender. But Crystal Palace and Oliver Glasner don't do that. What they do is that once they are playing the 3 back, they exert pressure. And that's the second thing. Compactness. The second thing is about the exertion of pressure from Crystal Palace. Every time somebody will move out of the Chelsea block to come and receive outside, nobody in the chi. And essentially, they have blocked almost every passing lane from team and friend the Chelsea Football Club. Rich, in this instance, this was the only time our branch friend Joshua Kofi Champion tried to play forward. You see, it was something I know person. He's a young player. But immediately he tried to play forwad one as a J ball. From then, he decided to just carry the ball instead of passing the ball forward. And I think, sir, on the ball, off the ball, he was very good. Or going to 7 duels, or we need 5. But again, or making sure, sir, in terms of on the ball, it was long. Chelsea forward tries to call long into the part of Pedro Neto. Anytime they did, it was 2v1 in wide areas. It was too difficult. Centrally, Crystal Palace were top notch. And also because the Chelsea did not have the needed players, I'm going to break it down Crystal Palace for one block. It made it very, very difficult for them to play. Now, what do you mean Crystal Palace for anytime Chelsea had the ball? Look at Muniz or jumping Marco Kukurea in the left-hand side. Very, very interesting setup. Now, look at this. Cole Palmer, a movie to come and take the ball on the blind side. Adam Watson, Rich, the ball goes back to Abrantia Feno. James, then you see some McGay ever jumping out very soon. Look at McGay right now, jumping out on about your friend Moises Caicedo. And almost every time the block is there, but then Crystal Palace forward will jump out. I also think, Rich, there were good openings for Chelsea to score a goal. In the second half, we will say Enzo Maresca as Sanyoma. If Joshua Champion will take some time to grow into the CCB role now, are there Enzo Maresca bits my and say, so yeah, the year with Moises Caicedo in the second half, no. Or you see Caicedo as a half back, part of the centre back, no, but a midfielder. It's Caicedo Babaji ball, when him say, then he plays it forward into the part of Marco Kukurea. And the match Chelsea, it created some quality chances over there. But again, it was not the best game. See, the chances were there.
Brony say too young, but that's a Uche.
Medjuma say it's a match. Boy, a go and an go.
Yeah, Claire go.
But the own kind of
Claire go.
Now, explanation about for the balance.
My kind is
my kind for say, Mammy just meet me teaching.
My kind is
me. Almost say, yeah, war. Opponent defender ain't mean but within 1 meter or more of the wall.
Okay.
And in my game, trying to push Abranche friend Caicedo out of this position, about 1 meter of the wall. It's according to them, affect. Say, na see your ball.
Who could she be near and Yamich?
Now, one baby, Moda hen.
Why?
Moda hen.
And no incarnate.
La Liga referees, any English Premier League referees.
Every jam brew or blast Muntini. I go a momentino. Say, Anna could from body as season and Yamanko you. Oh, they say world class and winning to baby and you debut.
What yeah?
They say a friend of every jam brew or stars. Who and Chichimu at the man of penny now. Uba has a dinner and Kauka.
Now the Saturday,
I know you difficulty now. Why not? Premier League, one else or two.
Now the Saturday,
when you go solid free, you didn't invest in court.
They be all up at the last lap. We need problem, but the mouth. But Obia, you say, Ukoy, one fashion, and Mephi, not to was here. But say, Spanish La Liga referees, the English Premier League referees, if only here, Jumapa. You see the Barca game. I don't have a problem with the first goal of Barca for share. Your friend is saying first goal, no, Lamine Yamal, Bono or Bob 2 Rafinha, Boscheno. I don't have a problem with that. But Rich, Ferran Torres born or say, even a Ukraine or problem with it. Hansi it afflicts or a big problem with it. Because even if it was him and Kobe Furious, because player that former Asoniti, but still the ball went on. I think there's a referee. There's so much money. Yeah, but was
okay. Nti Edamase, Abidjan Blue All Stars.
Where pa?
Okay.
Ebi ko adwuma bi nya bibi ba fi, ebi ko adwuma bi manya hwe. Yeah, nya bibi ba fi no de.
Say.
Okay.
I know what saying.
I know what say. Ebi mu ko adwuma no. Omo ye adwuma owa bi so mo se ye ko adwuma. Obi so ko so me de 1 city ba fi. Obi so me de 3 city ba fi. Yeah, you never be free. Okay.
Sometimes I want for 1 city and coffee.
Oh, wow. So, what do I see? 0 day.
Oh, I'm sometimes 1 city and the coffee. One for empty hand coffee.
My master teacher, one is 0. Sometimes being said, oh, treat you.
When you want some, what's our boy? When you need some. Let me say no grab it to my bedroom. Oh, when you want some crack. World champions. Crystal Palace going to be a channel. When you walk as an interview, and only my son was a maker, and more on yet. Saying, because Saturday now, Brana don't Sabu Bo some sea, and any amount, yea. So relax, eh? Obiano Uku, Adiero, a man. First one, what is it? Found to pass yet any on grass yet to pass. Right. Don't worry, but when more voice be born me answer. At the money, they can't voice my never start. My man, the money 2 months here, and a nice voice by insect. Boamina. And do you understand? Richardo. Okay. Is a voice near Richardo today? Boy, no near fan start. I didn't know. Pasha than a woman. Oh, you see me, Muna. Do you say, Osha computer? I don't know the Yaudin spelling. Anna, okay, with my mintia. Who did get you as much as I want to buy it? My mintia. It's now dominating. You ever show me to one? Hey, maybe hey. Hey, I'm crashing. Hey, me see. Other shot, me see ever show me to one. Any bet, and your bet, won't you bet? I have some number can want it. Me see. What do you say? Yami had more china. You won't give me a better answer. 3-1. What are you shot? What shall you? No, Tim Nazi show coffee. And you want what did you see? Oh, I'm going on to baby. Benjamin says super. Matthias Otivicha goose. And the front three need to be a goose. I was there in a game, no. Obiama 1-1-1-1. Yenya 3. Do you know good pass of the ball? You know it. Oh, I do. I bet you shame. I bet you. Bruno, why the travel is Bruno there. Senior. Bruno there, good. Say productions are no more, no. Which we come in the moon to be there. Obian got a show be 3-1. What was a show be 3-1? This is Anam your production. There is so was it. Let's see about your and no money as now, that's good, you say. And imagine an end there and we should be. Hey! But it's on a more serious note, and normal performance was not bad. I think it was a good performance. Excellent performance, no good. Hey, Richardo. Any excellent. How can it be an excellent performance when you don't win? It's good, it's an improvement of what you've done before. But it's not excellent. You have to watch here. And no performance. Me, I'm the first person to say it. It was a good performance. And I said it from there. From how I must set it up. In fact, the game was too controversial. I think Cesar Bowie and Nissan can stand there as a goal. I don't agree with anybody who says that there was no foul here. Bowie, no foul on Mason Mount. Even before Bayenda. Who said Kofu Bebre Esha Adiena? They will focus so much on William Saliba on Bayenda. But the focus also should be on Abrante Feni Mason Mount. He is literally being shrugged out. So for me, Arsenal goal, no, it wasn't a goal. But me catch you, which Arsenal in the last 2 years, no big 6 team has beaten them. Whether home or away.
Enya Krobejin a draw. So Arsenal, they are good at playing these games, whether they play well, they don't play well, opening of the season, middle of the season, constantly. I had high beliefs in Arsenal for Nbeye Jumano away at Old Trafford. The bigger problem was how Manchester United were good. Which one an opinion? My reading article will be from some Manchester United pro people, and they are saying something there. Sometimes, when you lose a game, Unya BB more than 3 points. And it is something that they call belief. Abia and Ejina say no. Belief any idea air quantifiable. Unti found some sum. Inti overdoing so it is nothing. But in the context of football and confidence and growth, a very, very important thing for Manchester United. I think Sandram's performance it stirred up a lot of belief, and even Manchester United fans and the players were good. Which more transitions were super. I like Brian Mbeumo in those runs. Matthias Cunha ball kind was very, very good also as well. The only thing I didn't like is this annotation. Which no munya ball ni biya box ni moi. Only said before Arsenal go ni bebano. Muna mu dominating possession. Muna mu ball until Arsenal scored from the set play. But almost every time, munya ball could do Arsenal for an 18-yard box ni moi. It was as if Ruben Amorim's game plan was much more defensive than attacking. This is minute 30. When you're born in the final third, in the box, Diogo Dalot and Kita Bono. Which in the box, Ankasa, there are only 2 Manchester United players in the box. Just 2. Whilst Arsenal have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Literally, Arsenal almost every point in time in the box. Yes, you had good transitions. Yes, you could turn over possession. But in the box, in the opponent area, Manchester United were not committing men. And for me, I don't know if that was essentially the game plan of it. There's another opportunity again. Diogo Dalot corner. Another in the 26th minute, where Manchester United had a chance in the box. Again, literally not committing men forward. You don't score in football at the highest level like that. No matter how good we Brian Mbeumo, Matthias Cunha, they scored because consistently for their teams last season, only high quality chances in and around the box. And now she chance about Cunha. She chance about Mbeumo. They are not clear-cut chances to score goals.
That is why I don't know. You see, coaching sometimes I'm impressed better than a judge coaches. Yeah. Because ABR what goes into their decision.
Yeah.
And yes, sir. Oh, Benjamin Sesko.
Yeah.
I'm not born. Look, you hear number 9 presence. That has always been a problem
from the start.
From the start.
But even without you, we were good. Oh.
We are good.
Yeah.
To say the now can.
Yeah.
A banner say a transit here.
Yeah.
Swift.
Yeah.
But you do 8 years about cinema. Arsenal for the baby.
I'm
1 or 2.
A banner more transit here.
Yeah. Very, very swift. You quantum 1, 2, 3. I could feel me a proud Manchester United supporter.
Oh, you played well. It's just that, Rich.
Yeah, bobo papa.
Yeah, and no bobo. But like I said, out of the 3 points, maybe I'm moving belief out of it. If you can replicate this performance again,
sure.
Because it's easy to play this kind of football in your home crowd in a big game where new players want to show what they want to do. But it's about consistency. So Manchester United makes him replicate this way. Another one again in the course of the season. It's good for me. Constantly, my biggest problem was this. And I'm pointing out to you. Look at this in minute 5. Before Arsenal for me, can show me go. Brian Mbeumo in the box alone. Share the closest Manchester United player to him, Bruno Fernandes. No, Diogo Dalot. Almost about 10 or 20 meters away from of Brian Mbeumo.
So,
that is the only issue. And Ruben Amorim set up and say, oh boy, it's wing backs. Sometimes commit the men forward and then go in there and go and play. But apart from that, we have very, very good that is very, very good 3 points. We have 0 points, but a good performances over there. Now, I think say games need not start on Saturday, where Man City won, Liverpool on Friday. We spoke about it. Which did you see Tijani behind this? Remember, you can't Tijani who say
me her born is this was the boy and Kofi can was
Rich.
So my pet time pana me family me go nation me hon kwa akwani bobo. I
said
on pass no the man hala say
whether Obo as a 6,
goodness,
whether Obo as an 8, whether or ball as whatever of the position that Tijani Renders has to play up top.
Oh no, he hit my happen.
Yeah,
Super.
like complete box to box. And me can say Uko Italian Serie A anymore. Me, the very first time I saw Tijani was with the Dutch national team at the last Euros. And then the ball into the Mami Kodi Tijani. And Dino, I mean, someone was how is somebody from Netherlands called Tijani? Until I read about how Ane Papa then to Tijani Babangida, and then from these days at Ajax Amsterdam. But he was brilliant. He was brilliant on the day, and Man City got off to a flying start on the day away at Wolverhampton Wanderers. I thought Sankabediam and Manchester City, but it was not difficult for them. The subsequent game had to go on Sunday, and we waited for the early kickoff. Chelsea, Etnefie, Argentina, Crystal Palace, but also on Saturday, Rich Mohamed Kudus again. Did you see the difference in the Mohamed Kudus anymore? Who said, as a Thomas Frank has given him a specific role of not to do too much. Say, original touchline on him, because according to Opta analyst, Mohamed Kudus created 5 chances in the game and among 2 assists. And it is the very first time in the Premier League game. And I think that is excellent profiling for my brand here, your friend Thomas Frank, and Kudus executed it very, very well in the game. So kudos to him. Right on Sunday,